right after that, I went through my very first public breakup. Now, most people after a breakup are like, I'm gonna get in better shape. But I was already in good shape. So I had to be like, all right, I guess I'll learn a new language. Anyway, estoy en raya. After the breakup, everyone thought I was so heartbroken because when the news came out, I was at a basketball game and they caught me looking like this.
MichaelBJordan just flipped the script on Lori after that massive Oscar win, and people are talking crazy about it. Word going around says right before they split, she allegedly looked him dead in the face and said he'd never win an Oscar. Yeah, she really said that.
Oh man, y'all. I stand here because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys. Thank you, everybody in this room.
Now look how that played out. He just secured the win, and suddenly the energy has shifted big time. She was so convinced Damson was next up, like he'd grab an Oscar before Michael even got close. But honestly, people weren't even hyping Damson like that in those circles, and now it's starting to look like a huge misread. Folks online are even saying Lori moves based on who's got the most buzz and status at the moment, and she thought she found that with him. Now, jump to 2026, and the tone is completely different. People are saying she's regretting that choice heavy. Social media has been going off ever since the Oscars wrapped, and Lori has been catching heat from every direction. And keeping it real, this kind of backlash, not shocking at all. I'm telling you, she already knew people were ready to come at her the second Michael locked in that Best Actor nomination for Sinners. And that's exactly how it played out. No surprises there at all. Reports even say folks close to Lori were telling blogs that neither her, Damson, or anyone from her family showed up to the Oscars because they knew Michael had a real shot at winning. And honestly, they didn't want to be anywhere near that moment if his name got called. Everyone knows how messy award shows can get, and she clearly wasn't trying to be part of that scene. She stayed far away, but Michael, he wasn't stressing any of it for a second. He pulled up with his mom, Donna Jordan, cool and focused, and walked out with that award like it was always meant to be his. The second that win happened, social media lit up like crazy. People were celebrating him heavy, but at the same time, they were still calling Lori out for choosing Damson over him. Some were even saying Damson is a downgrade and claiming he's nowhere near Michael's level. Others went even further, saying ever since Lori left, Michael has been on a whole unstoppable run, like nothing can slow him down now. MichaelBJordan and Lori Harvey broke up. That man has been on a whole different run, blockbuster directing, and now an Oscar. That's exactly how people are talking right now, and it's hard to ignore. Some are even saying the glow-up really kicked off right after that breakup, and they're not holding back with that take at all. If I'm MichaelBJordan, I'm popping my ish when people bring up Lori and Damson, that other man ain't got no Oscar, is what's being said. And yeah, it sounds messy, but that's the energy online. Now, even though that talk sounds petty, a lot of people feel like there's a reason behind it. There have been claims that when Michael and Lori split, her camp allegedly pushed a whole narrative about him that wasn't exactly fair. Stories were floating around painting him as a serial cheater and questioning his dating preferences, and that noise spread fast. The wild part? None of those claims were ever confirmed, and Michael didn't jump in to defend himself publicly. He stayed quiet, let the conversation run its course, and kept things moving behind the scenes. While all that chatter was going on, he was locked in, preparing for a role that would later land him that Oscar. After their breakup, more rumors popped up, saying the split happened because he was allegedly involved with his ex, Ashlyn Castro. But again, nothing solid ever backed that up, and it just added more drama to an already messy situation. These rumors didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were actually sparked by Lisa Ray, who is known to be close with Lori's mom, Marjorie. That connection alone had a lot of people taking her word seriously, and it only made things louder when neither Lori nor Marjorie stepped in to shut it down. According to Lisa Ray, the whole story about Lori not being ready for marriage was completely false. She claimed Lori actually did want to marry Michael, but just days before a supposed proposal, she allegedly found out he was involved with his white ex-girlfriend, and that was the breaking point for her. She's letting loose and telling everything is how people described Lisa Ray's moment, because she really got on camera and spoke openly about it all. She didn't hold back, and the way she laid it out had people locked in, trying to piece together what was real and what wasn't. Meanwhile, Lori stayed quiet through all of this and didn't directly respond to any of the claims. But at the same time, people noticed she wasn't exactly shutting down the narratives either, and that raised a lot of eyebrows. Some even feel like letting those stories spread without correction can hit just as hard as saying them outright. No shade, but right when all of this drama was heating up, Steve Harvey and Marjorie started posting things that had people raising eyebrows real quick. Out of nowhere, Steve dropped a message on Instagram saying, "Love yourself, my G," and people instantly started connecting the dots. Then he followed it up with another post that said, "Sometimes we need to thank God for what didn't happen," and at that point, everyone knew who folks thought he was talking about. And he didn't stop there. Just days later, during an interview with Hoda and Jenna, he made comments that many took as a direct shot at Lori and Michael's relationship. He said she's growing up in the public eye and doesn't get the luxury of making mistakes in private like everyone else. According to him, her life plays out in front of everybody. But he also added that she's been figuring things out and getting it right. Now people are side-eyeing those comments heavy, especially after Michael just secured that Oscar win. Some are even questioning if Steve still feels the same way now, or if that perspective has shifted after seeing how things played out. There's a lot of chatter online wondering what he thinks about everything now, especially with Lori's current situation still under the spotlight. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any messier, more started coming out. Marjorie didn't stay quiet either. She had her own way of throwing shade, and it caught people off guard. She reposted a clip of actress Jennifer Lewis saying, "If you sit in it for too long, it stops smelling, so come up out of there," and people immediately started reading between the lines. The way folks took it, they felt like that was a direct jab at Michael, and yeah, it had people talking crazy. And it didn't stop there. Lori herself added fuel to the situation by posting a photo of a license plate that read, "Dump him," which only made everything look even more pointed. Social media ran with that instantly, and the narrative just kept getting louder and messier by the second. Then, things escalated even more when Jason Lee shared his own experience. He said he ran into Lori at Essence Fest after the breakup and decided to ask her straight up about the cheating rumors surrounding Michael. According to him, instead of shutting it down, Lori allegedly froze up and just stared at him, almost like she was caught off guard by the question. That reaction alone had people speculating even harder, reading into every little detail and trying to piece together what really went down behind the scenes. Now here's where things get even more intense, because while all this talk was spreading, Michael stayed completely silent and never fed into the drama at all. No interviews, no posts, no messy back and forth, nothing. And that silence? It started speaking louder than anything else people were saying. Instead of responding, he kept his head down and focused on leveling up. He went from acting to directing major projects, building his name behind the scenes and stacking wins one after another. People started noticing that while the rumors were loud for a moment, his results were even louder over time. And then, boom. Oscar night happened, and everything shifted in an instant. That win didn't just add to his career, it completely changed the conversation around him. Suddenly, all that old drama started looking small compared to what he had just accomplished on one of the biggest stages possible. Now, people are looking back at everything that was said and questioning it all, wondering if the noise ever matched reality. Because at the end of the day, while others were talking, Michael was working, and now he's the one holding that award. And now the internet is doing what it does best, digging everything back up and comparing where everyone stands today. People are lining up timelines, old clips, and past statements, trying to connect all the dots. And it's not looking too great for Lori in the public eye right now. A lot of users are pointing out how fast the narrative flipped. Back then, Michael was the one getting questioned, side-eyed, and dragged into all kinds of rumors. But now, he's sitting on an Oscar, major respect in the industry, and a career that's only getting bigger by the day. Meanwhile, Lori's name keeps getting pulled into the conversation, with people debating her choices and the way everything played out. Some are even saying this whole situation is a lesson in how quickly public opinion can change when results start speaking for themselves. At the same time, others are calling out how messy the internet can be, because once a story takes off, it's almost impossible to control where it goes. But one thing is clear, this whole situation has people watching closely, and the conversation isn't slowing down anytime soon. Now people are starting to ask the big question, was all of that drama even necessary in the first place? Because looking back, it feels like things escalated way beyond what anyone expected, and now the outcome is telling a completely different story. Some are saying this is a perfect example of how moving in silence can really pay off. While everything was loud, emotional, and all over social media, Michael stayed focused and let his work speak for him, and in the end, that strategy hit harder than any response ever could. At the same time, others are pointing out how quickly people can switch sides. One minute, the internet had a certain narrative locked in, and the next, everything flipped once real success entered the picture. It's got people rethinking what they believed back then and questioning how much of it was ever true to begin with. Now the conversation has turned into something bigger than just a breakup. It's about timing, choices, and how fast things can change when pressure meets reality. And with everything still being talked about heavy online, it's clear this story isn't fading anytime soon. As you can see, a lot of people feel like Lori and her circle were really pushing the idea that Michael was the problem back then. And now, the tables have clearly turned, and folks are saying this is his moment to get that quiet payback without even saying much at all. People online didn't waste any time jumping in either. Comments started flooding in, with one person saying, Lori Harvey about to leave Damson Idris now that MBJ is an Oscar winner, and another adding, Lori Harvey is getting rid of Damson to get back with MichaelBJordan. The internet has been wild with these takes, and honestly, it just keeps getting louder. Now it's got everyone watching closely and wondering what could happen next. Is this just media doing too much like usual, or is there actually a shift happening behind the scenes? And more importantly, how do you see this playing out after everything that's happened? I want to hear what you think about all of this. Do you believe Michael is really clowning Lori after her decision, or is the internet just running with it? And do you think Lori would actually circle back after his big Oscar win? Drop your thoughts in the comments, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and don't miss out. Check out the next video for even more drama.